Hi there, it's Laurie. Today's all about postcards. Making use of postcards or other ephemera in different ways. Now, I have a lot of postcards here and more, but I'll explain about that later. In the meantime, the first way that I'm going to use postcards is to match them up with a quote. I have some quotes if you would want to use this digital. Download it for yourself. The link is below. It's free. But I designed them so that you could either use the quote in the box, print it out on this paper. Any paper it would work. I like that paper, the Southworth. And you could cut them with the box around them or tear them, whatever works for your ephemera. And they're about kindness, a few different quotes about kindness because, hey, I think we all need a little extra kindness from each other, toward each other. And so I'm using them on a few of the postcards that aren't possibly as attractive as what you'd want to put in a journal. This one is advertising. The postcards are originally from my mom. She became a widow when she was 52, and then she traveled extensively during her 20 years after that, maybe 25 years, and amassed a room full of photo albums, more than 100 photo albums. And amongst those photos also were the postcards. So my mom is now in a long-term care space. She's dealing with dementia, and so all her travel treasures have come to live with me. And as I am also moving and working through getting rid of items so my grown children won't have to deal with them, I had to find a way to both honor her adventures in travel and yet not keep it all. So one of the ways I want to do it is making some of our crafts. I may give away some of these postcards that are in my care. Also, just if anybody wants to use them for their crafting. But anyhow, so one way to use up what we have, whether it's postcards or photos or ephemera of anything else, is to use quotes that inspire you, especially if you're making them for yourself, making the items for your own journals, for your own planners. Quotes often are something that we come across in social media. We may even save them to the photos in our phone or wherever, but do we ever look at them again? I don't know about you, but for me, I don't necessarily remember to look back. So this is one way to save something that is important to us, that it's a concept or a thought or something that inspires us in our crafting, and make it a part of whatever we're doing every day. So I'm putting some of these kindness quotes on postcards that perhaps aren't the most attractive, or even those that are. What happens is then it becomes something we can look at later and enjoy, and journal on the back of the postcard, or if it's torn on the back like this one is, covered up with something nice like a lined paper or something like that. This quote here, be kind because people are all dealing with battles that we don't know anything about. Someone mentioned that that's one of their favorite quotes when I posted it on social media. Yeah, that's true. We're all battling a battle that no one else may know. So being kind is important. And so I'm putting it on this postcard in a way that still shows some of the postcard, but also has the quote on it. I can use it to journal afterward. I can put the postcard on the front of a card that I make and Maybe it's a sympathy card, or maybe it's an encouragement card. Whatever we can think of doing with something that was used, was old, and make it into something new. That's what I'm trying here, at least with all these postcards. Do you have any ideas of what to do with postcards? Leave a comment below. I'd love to know what you would do. So let's look at a different quote. Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. The one I'm cutting out here. Instead of ripping, this time I'm just using a scissor. Trying to make it fit and still see something pretty on the postcard and trim it a little better. I really enjoy making digitals. It's something that inspires me. It's sort of, I work with my hands when I'm crafting, and creating something digitally, that gives me joy too. It's just another creative endeavor. Do you have a favorite quote? If you have a favorite quote, will you leave a comment below with it? I'd really love to know. Maybe I can make one or two or a few. So here's another idea. I used a metal die to create these tags from these postcards from Lisbon. So it's a Tim Holtz die, I think, two sizes. And then I put them together with some glue and a piece of fabric. And then I have all this beautiful ephemera that somebody gave me. It's stickers and little tags and such. Then I'm going to show you how I make this four-folded. Yeah, because there's four sides. I guess it's kind of like an accordion. I tear, this used to be a sheet, and I bleached it a few times, and then I ironed it with, starch. So tearing it is very satisfying. It's easy to do in the proper direction. One direction seems to tear much easier than others. And the raw edges are fun, except for the extra pieces of cloth. That can be annoying, especially with sticky fingers. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the two shorter ones in the middle, and I want them to fold like an accordion. And what'll happen is the two larger ones will sandwich the two smaller ones inside. I've kept the holes in the smaller ones, but I'm not punching out the holes in the larger ones, mostly because one of the postcards has a statue at the top, and the hole is exactly where the face of the statue is. And I thought, well, that wouldn't be very nice. So I just put a piece of washi tape, and you'll see later I decorate the other side so that, I cover up the parts, the barcodes and such with the ephemera. Now I'm putting on what will be the attachment piece, and it's fabric, and lining up the two larger ones, the bottoms of the two larger ones, and the bottoms of the two smaller ones. But the smaller ones are taller. Sorry. The smaller ones are higher than the longer ones. You see what the picture does. Sorry, maybe I'm not explaining it right. You want to be sure to leave enough of the middle part, the fabric, so that you have a hinge. Yeah, that's what the fabric really is. It's a hinge. Oh, little pieces of the fabric fraying are sticking to things, including my fingers. And so that's another way to use postcards, or any other ephemera. Make it into a different shape and then attach them together. Now I'm decorating it a bit with a few of the stickers from the pack of ephemera someone gave me. I want to add to the hinge, so that one is like a transparent washi sticker. And what else can I add? What do I like? That? No, not really. Let's tear it and see what happens. Sometimes an unfinished edge beside a really straight edge like a die cut, it looks better. And I'll be cutting off the edges so that it keeps the tag shape. Now this could be used for journaling. It could be used as a gift tag. All kinds of things. I find the little sticker backing sometimes frustrating. Some of them come off very quickly. Some of them do not. So there you go. See, it folds together just so. To add something on the front? Yes, let's add something on the front. A little sticker shape. And I mean, you don't have to buy ephemera to go on the front, stickers and such like that. You can cut things out of brochures. You can cut things out of magazines. It's easy. Save your own ticket stubs from places that you've been. I've been going through boxes of things that I've kept for years and years and years, back to before I was married, which was more than 40 years ago. I had kept the ticket stubs of when we went to a museum, a whole bunch of stuff. And unfortunately, I've had to let it go. I've kept a few things, and I'll use some in my crafting and my own journaling. But my mom's stuff here, I feel making videos and showing you the things that she brought back from her travels, that's one way of honoring her travel adventures. She's dealing with dementia, as I mentioned earlier, and sadly, she doesn't always know who I am. She lives far away, so I can only connect with her with a video call. And her hearing is almost nothing. And it's not just the ability to hear, the synapses from the ear to the brain. Sometimes people aren't able to understand the words that they hear. And that's the state my mom's in. So making things from her items makes me feel a little closer to her. She loved to show her photos to everybody. She'd come back from a trip, and the first thing she wanted to do was show everybody her photos. I don't know if you've ever done that yourself. I don't know whether maybe you had relatives that enjoyed photos. Do you remember slideshows? I think it was in the 60s and 70s. I remember my parents having people over and sitting there. They were sitting in the dark because they'd show slides from their latest trip. Yeah. Anyhow, traveling is fun, isn't it? My husband and I have traveled a little bit. He travels often. But we don't usually bring things back because, there's enough stuff in our place. It's nice to think about where you'd like to go. Do you have any dreams about where you'd like to go? These postcards here I'm working with are from Hawaii. Mom had been to Hawaii. And these are from Greece. So as you can see, one was an accordion tag with 4. And now I'm making just like cards. I'm attaching in the same manner with the piece of fabric to make them open and close like a card. So matching the ones that are portrait and matching the ones that are landscape. That is what you're looking for when you're matching them together. See, I just ripped it the wrong direction. I get a little frustrated after a while when I can't get it to work properly. Have you been to Hawaii? Have you been to Portugal or Greece? Not places I've been, but I feel like I know them because my mum would come home and tell me all about them. I have a tea towel from Portugal that she brought back for me that I'm still using. Yeah, sorry, I got quiet. I was looking and thinking about what I was doing there. So there's one from Greece. Beautiful islands in Greece. And if you have any other ideas of what to do with a postcard, you can make a pocket with them if you glue 3 sides of the postcard to a page. I want to put these in an atlas that I have, and I want to use some pages from a road travel book that I have. So here we go. The accordion all done, and also the different things, and that's the atlas that I'd like to use to put some of these things in. It's kind of like all the places that you will go kind of dream thing, dream journal to create. Thanks for joining me. Take care. It's Laurie at Positive Thanks Living. I appreciate you very much. Please leave a comment, like and subscribe. I'd be happy to spend time with you again. Bye for now.